What's going on, everybody? This is Jerome Moore, host and creator of Deep Dish Conversations. And firstly, I want to say thank you for all love and support, and thank you for exploring the perspectives of social change with me on this platform. I want to encourage you all to like, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube and on your favorite podcast listen platform. And make sure you give us a 5-star rating if you're loving the Deep Dish Conversations. I appreciate all of the support again. I hope you all enjoy this episode. This is Deep Dish Conversations, a series in which I, Jerome Moore, sits down with prominent figures in Nashville, Tennessee to talk about social issues over amazing deep dish pizza. Deep Dish Conversations models how to have conversations about deep issues around racism, housing, policing, poverty, and more. Plus, you will get an idea for where to get your next slice of pizza from. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy Deep Dish Conversations. What's going on, everybody? This is your host, Jerome Moore of Deep Dish Conversations, and welcome to another episode of Deep Dish. And as I always say at the beginning of each episode, every guest is amazing, every guest is special, but it's certain individuals I feel that, one, should be bigger than what they are, should be way more respected, I think, too. Not to saying that they aren't, but it's just some people are different. Some people take the elevator in life, like myself, and with that, it's just a different journey. And sometimes that journey is not publicized, not known, and you just see the results. It's like, damn, how did they do that, or how are they doing this? And it's because like they don't compromise who they are and they hold their integrity. And this gentleman in front of me, Otis Carter IV, 4 times,
yes, sir,
is one of those individuals. And we've met in passing a few times. And before we got started, I was telling him where we met for the first time in passing, and this is how I knew he was different. We was at both at Little Caesars. I was probably getting some cheese sticks or something. Yeah. One right there in Antioch by the Kroger, and we had passed each other, and we was like, damn, you look familiar, I look familiar. And you said to me, like, man, well, I usually talk to black men anyway. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that hit me differently because we know sometimes the tensions, unnecessary, unneeded tensions that we have when we see each other in person, for whatever reason it may be. But when you said that hit me different, and that encouraged me to keep speaking. Yeah. So especially when I see black men, regardless they speak back or not, it just show that love, be vulnerable, and like we all get the same battle, we all get the same fight, no matter what background we come from. Yeah. And that let me know that you was different. And so, man, I appreciate you for that. Just that moment. And I just told you this before we started, but that always resonate with me whenever I see you doing whatever you do. It's that one moment at Little Caesars, I
appreciate that.
And, man, so.
And you reciprocated it, though. That's how I know you was real, too.
Hey, man, and I'm all about giving people their flowers, man. And I really wanted to have you on here to, one, so people can know more about Otis and the 200-man stand and everything that you do in the community, but also, man, give you your flowers. Appreciate and so that. Other people can be encouraged to do the same thing when they see you, because it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes just different. And if you're a real one, and in that term, real one doesn't mean you got to be in the streets, or doesn't mean you got to do anything to earn. Like, just being who you are is a real one, and that's who you is, man. And that energy I feel. And Thank you. I'm gonna cut off my soliloquy, but I had to get it off my chest, man. And I mean that. I really do, and I hope it comes off that way on the camera. But, man, thank you for being here, man.
Nah, thank you, bro. I appreciate you having me, man.
I'm excited for this.
You got a dope platform, so it's an honor to even be a part of what you got going on. I've been paying attention, watching you for quite a while, and you got it's quality. You pick your guests. You have a system. I love the system because everybody's interesting. Everybody has a purpose. Right. So just to be in that company of everybody else you had, I appreciate it. Man, it's humble. It's you know what I mean? It's real humbling.
And I try to do my due diligence, man, when it comes to that, because not just to get maybe people all know because they sit in certain seats within the community, whether it's political seats or over a big organization or whatever. Yeah. But, man, from people that I know like this, like on the grounds, really. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you don't always have a camera or can't always be on social media with some of the stuff that people who's on the ground is doing. They ain't meant for everybody to see, but it's happening. And so I want to make sure I always have those individuals, and you one of those individuals. on this platform and let people know that like people like yourself and others are always welcome and will forever be welcome on this platform, long as I'm running it and doing my thing.
It's cool to know we have a home too for people with like minds. We can come somewhere and voice our, tell our story and welcome and it be on a quality platform. A lot of times I be forgetting to post and tell my own story. Right. So to be able to lay it out on the line with you, that's cool.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it,
yes,
man.
Sir, I'm ready. I'm ready.
And man, so what's telling to me is, I know you're a father. Yes, I'm a father. You know, you a lot more years in than me. I'm only 15 months in of fathership.
It's gonna happen fast.
Your fatherhood, you're right.
You'll be that fast.
But to know that you are fourth lets me know that, you know, your father, his father, and his father was in their life. And my father, OG Jeffrey as we call him, is very important to me. And I say that's the only OG that I've ever had and ever needed because he was present in my life. And when I hear people saying big homie, big OG, to me, you know, as a black man especially, that should be your father if possible. Yeah. If your father is doing his due diligence, your father should be your real OG forever.
Yeah.
And so can you talk about that, man, and just growing up, having your father, just having that fourth and what that means to you, and how's that a part of your story?
Man, my dad, everybody that knows me pretty much knows my dad because he's probably my biggest supporter outside of my wife and my son. My father is pretty much there. He travels to every event. He was there for the Jefferson Street Suite we just had, came up from Mississippi also to celebrate my son's birthday. But not only did he just celebrate, he came to participate. Picked up paper, trash, like he does everything I ask him to participate in. If I don't ask him, he'll participate in it. But he led by example. Right. He wasn't always the nicest dad, but he was always what I needed at the time. Right. But I do also have other guys I call big homies and OGs, but ironically, my dad was an OG to them. Mm-hmm. So it was like a generation skip. My dad had me at 30, so when he's 40, I'm 10. When he's 50, I'm 20. Right. So the cats that were 25 when I'm 15, my dad had influence on them in my neighborhood too. So
same with my dad.
Yeah. Same with my dad. Even the cats I call OGs, the big homies or whatnot from my hometown or from Mississippi or whatnot, or even in Nashville. Right. My dad plays he had some kind of impact in their life as well too. So me being the fourth, man, I never. They talking about you knew you was gonna have a fifth. I already knew when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, my son was gonna be. If I had one, he was gonna be Otis Carter IV. So my dad mean everything to me, man.
And I don't know if people ever read into your name that deeply, but that's what I, as a black man, as a father, as a son. Yeah. Like I had to mean something because I was like, man, if you don't have a good relationship with your father, why would you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna lead these fourth alpha. I'm not gonna keep this going. But that's just good to hear, and I hope that's encouraging to other black men that are watching, that are fathers or any father that is watching. You know, to be present and be set by example. Let's talk about, man, Moss Point in Nashville. Okay. Nashville and Moss Point. So what are your connections to both cities?
Okay, I never really had a chance to tell this story in completion because I moved to Nashville when I was 3 and I moved back to Mississippi when I was 11. That's always my story, but that's the short version. Right. The long version is my family has always had ties to Nashville because my grandma met my granddad when she got her master's at TSU. Okay. We talking about in the 40s, 50s. Right. My aunt, my grandma's little sister, came up here when my grandma moved up here and never left. So my aunt, rest in peace, Miss Fannie Perry, was a counselor at Tennessee State for 54 years. Wow. And she moved up here at 24 years old. So even when my grandma moved back, my aunt stayed here. So that caused my dad to go to TSU. Okay. It caused my aunt to go to TSU. My dad met my mom. She was a North Nashville girl. My dad met her while he was at TSU. So that's how I came about. So my ties, like my whole family, my whole mom's side of the family, my cousins, my aunts, I have multiple aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, everybody from Nashville as well. And I'm my dad's only child. So when I went to Mississippi, it was just me. Okay. But I always visited every year. Like my ties run deep. So I actually lived in John Henry Hill Homes, Joe Johnson. That's me. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And so how was that transition to Moss Point, Mississippi? Now, where is that on the map?
It's at the bottom of the map. Moss Point, Mississippi is at the bottom of the map, man.
Okay.
We're a little big city. We're a small town with a big city flavor because we produce greatness. It's a different level of grind than Moss Point, Mississippi taught me than being in Nashville. It's a different grind because it's country and it's, you know, it's just a different element.
Right,
and it taught me certain things that I wouldn't have learned growing up in the city.
Right.
Because I probably would have grew up in the bricks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
At my
right.
trajectory.
Right. Right.
So it was a different little.
It's a difference
It's
between
dynamic.
country and city country.
Right, it's a difference.
Right,
So
right.
it was just that dynamic, and when I moved back at 24 years old, I had that with me. So I've been in Nashville enough. I was young enough to still be influenced by Nashville.
Right, and then your ties. You
my
got,
tie, like my
you
family, like
always
I'm
can-
here. I'm here, like
you here
every,
all the time. Yeah.
Jake's Barbershop, right
Right.
on 17. Like they're my
Right.
people. Like from growing up, I shine shoes at Jake's. I play water fights in the projects. Like that's
Right.
me, my whole family.
Right.
Everybody out there know me.
So I'm glad you was able to get the full story.
Yeah.
Man, what inspirations around did you have to? What do you refer yourself as in the community? Like, are you a community organizer, or are you just a power builder? Like, what do you?
Man, I'm just a man who gives a fuck.
Okay,
And quite frankly, I care, bro.
Right.
Like
As a man, that's
it.
That's
like, and I give a fuck. I care, and I'm a doer. So
what influenced that?
my
what if-
dad,
Okay.
my dad, and I got to give credit too to my one of my big homies. We call him Skinny Pimp, Darius Price.
Okay.
Like my neighborhood, he was a street leader.
Right.
He was community leader, but through the streets.
Right.
So he did what he did,
Right.
but he always taught us organization.
Right.
We go keep this over there. We go respect the old folks. We gonna ain't no speeding down our block. You know what I mean? Like it was certain things, codes and ethics.
Discipline, yeah.
And even picking up paper, picking up litter, just showing a little structure between cats that society would deem them as structureless or without purpose. He gave us purpose.
Right.
So I actually participated in my first community cleanup in high school with him.
Wow. And from there,
And that just sparked my interest. So I didn't really get full-fledged until I started coming to Nashville and I became a barber.
Okay.
So just being a barber with G, shout out to G.
You licensed?
Yeah, I'm licensed. I've been licensed for 12 years.
And so this is some. So
I've been cutting hair since I've been
this-
14.
Look. This is something we didn't know about each other.
Yeah.
I'm licensed too.
You licensed too?
My daddy. So it's
My
crazy.
granddad.
My daddy was cutting since 96, 97, right? He went to the barber college that's in Madison.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot the name of it then. But
I think it was international. With Miss Velma and Waco.
No, he was way before that.
Okay.
He was way before
Okay.
that because I know Waco.
Yeah.
I know him. He the
Okay.
guy. It was a white guy running it.
Okay,
That
Mr.
location.
Tim
I
with the
think
long
it was
hair.
white.
Yeah, that's Mr. Tim. Mr. Tim Cole with them
And
things.
so, that's him.
He taught me. He's one of my teachers.
And if you see my dad, you might know him because he's also an instructor. And there ain't too many instructors, especially here in Nashville. But that's just something we have in common.
probably know him.
And you know the My Three Sons Bible College?
Yeah.
On Buck Canyon?
Yeah.
That's us.
That's y'all?
Well, it was us.
Okay.
But it's closed now. But
That's
that was
beautiful,
us.
man.
Yeah. So that was 2013 when we opened that and we had the
Damn,
barber
that's
school.
beautiful, man.
Yeah. So that's when I got my life. I said, if I'm gonna be a co-owner of a school, let me get my license. And I grew up around it myself. So I had to take them state boards and all that good
that's
stuff,
cold.
man.
So you see what position the barber is in the community. We're
Yeah.
therapists. Sometimes
Yeah.
we the loan shark. We everything. We
Right.
go get furniture for the parent, for a kid. I mean, for a
Right.
family. Go.
sometimes we're a space just
We're a
for people,
space,
to,
a
people
safe
to have an
space,
event.
the event,
Yeah,
all of that. So
yep.
G kind of he allowed me to do what I did in his shop, to be a safe space for people to come, and we started doing Saturday music and bringing the community in,
Right.
where we feed the kids. We did free
Right.
haircuts. I seen G pay for couch and bedroom sets and stuff like that. So that kind of sparked my, let me just get back to doing what I do. Like I know
Right.
what I'm here for.
Right.
That kind of kicked me off. Then We found a dish with Hambino God body.
Let's
200
go.
man stand.
200 man stand. Let's talk about it.
We linked up because I'm heavily invested in the Nashville music culture. So within doing that, I book a lot of shows and a lot of artists. And within doing that, me and Hambino met. And just seeing the way he moved and seeing the way I moved, we had over a couple months of knowing each other and connecting on a certain spiritual level, on a man level.
Right.
You were like, bro, I got an idea for us. I think we can do something great. I love your spirit. I love your energy. And I think I need you to do this. And I was like, bro, what's up?
Right.
Concept name, what we stood for. I was like, bro, you right up my alley. Let's do it. So we came up with the concept of the 200 man stand, a vanguard of peace, love, and brotherhood.
Okay.
So what we do is
Why
peace, love,
200?
and brotherhood.
Why 200?
It's stronger than 100.
Mm.
You see what I mean? They already got 100
Yeah.
men. 200 signifies the strength. Hambino can give you the scientific read. Like he's
Hambino, we're gonna have you on here.
Well, you gotta have him. It ain't official unless Ham says it. But it signifies strength. The number 200 signifies strength. It's a doubling of what you used to.
Okay.
So it's significant in that fashion, just to show solidarity.
Right.
200. If we got 200 guys anywhere in America, we are unstoppable. 200 black men that show up anywhere, or 200 guys willing to fight to show up anywhere, willing to clean up our community, pass resources, let's invest some money in something. Like, we can do it. That's all we need is us.
Right.
So that's what that stands for.
Man, so what is some of the work for people who don't know that the 200 man stand
Man,
is a part of?
where do I start? Like, I mean, we just do work that a lot of other people don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like, we go pick up the paper. We're going to go into the projects and set up resources. We're going to go to different cities. Like, we've been to Kingsport, Tennessee, East Tennessee. We've participated with my boy Capo in Johnson City. We active in Mississippi heavily. We active in Nashville heavily. And all those looks consist of community cleanups. That's what we've been doing now since COVID kind of shut down our large gatherings.
Right.
But we provide resources to our community, bro. Like, it's not we're not reinventing the wheel. There's a lot of people that do that.
Right.
There's a lot of people that have job fairs, financial literacy platforms, but they rarely go to the people that really need it the most.
Right. Y'all meet people where they at
Where they at.
on a consistent basis.
On a consistent basis. A lot of people have one at a college, at a TSU gym.
Y'all
bro.
going to
Like,
the bricks.
these people not,
Yeah,
they're
y'all
not
going-
coming to the gym. The people
Right.
that need it the most
Might
are
not even have transportation.
They don't have transportation.
Right.
Let's get to it. They don't
Right.
have transportation. They
Right.
don't have an outlet to get to these places. So you can wake up and
Right.
let's say music out here.
Right.
You walk outside and you see,
Right.
damn, they got 5 tents and they doing some hiring. They doing some felony expungement. We highlight black businesses too with our platform. When I
Right.
just did our resource festival in Mississippi a couple weeks ago, it was a few black businesses that they kind of launched on our platform.
Wow.
Because the community, they was already launching, doing their thing professionally, but the community wasn't in tune with what they had going on. So to be able to be like, boom, you can service your community and get some recognition for what you do. Highlight yourself. Use our platform to highlight yourself. We like to give people their flowers too. That's part of what we do too. We like to put people in position that's doing what they do, bring you to a place where they need you the most,
Right.
and get you to the people and let the people have you.
Right.
That's one of the things we do, bro. Like, it ain't even nothing hard. We just see a need and do it. People make shit harder than what it got to be a lot of times.
Make shit
Man,
way more
we
complex.
Need 45 people. We need 100
Just do it.
donations,
Just
bro.
even if it's just 5 of y'all.
Man, and we going to buy $100, $200 shoes. We going out to spend $40, $50 to get into these clubs. We go to concerts. But if we say, hey, bro, let's go 25 a piece so we can pay somebody a bill. Let's go 25 a piece so we can buy these tents and set up out here and pass out this water. Let's go buy some bags and block out 2 hours of your day so we can come over and clean up, because I'm tired of riding down the street and seeing trash in front of these black businesses. It's nothing but a little bit of money and a lot of effort and a lot of caring, bro.
Right.
And they can get shit done.
Right. And a lot of giving a fuck.
A lot of giving a fuck.
Yeah.
If you give a fuck, everything else will happen, bro.
Right,
If you give enough of a fuck.
Right. And you'll run into people like you and Hambino ran into each other that's like-minded and be able to collaborate and bring resources together and to benefit the community even more. And I hope people really listen to these gems that you're dropping, because it's not complex and people think, you know, like you said, you got to reinvent the wheel or save the world. But my whole thing, my slogan is change yourself, change your community, change your world. You got to start with the end. And then if you take care of your community, whatever that might look different from everybody, and that can be as simple. And it might not be simple for everybody, but just to put it in these words, just as simple as picking up a piece of paper. If you do that, somebody's watching.
Right.
Because just like your big homie, when you was in high school, took you on your first community cleanup, and what that inspired for you to be today, and what you feel like you needed to do and give a fuck about.
Right.
Somebody's always watching. I told Jaffe, shout out to Jaffe Judah.
Oh, that's my guy.
You know what I'm saying? With Recycle and Reinvest. But I told him the exact same thing, because he was like, man, I be going to the projects and people looking at it like, why you cleaning up the projects? It's me. I want to be in the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he put me on to something, which I didn't know. How clean your community is reflects
how safe your
community is.
Yeah.
And so if you want a safe community, have a clean community.
Come on.
But with that, like you said something in the interview I was watching, and it was funny in this interview because you was finna kill a dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. The dog was coming. He's like, hey, I got a knife. I'll body you.
Yeah, body, yeah.
He's like, oh, man, I forgot I was on camera. I'm a killer.
I'm a killer, yeah, but no.
But you had said something like, and I like how you just keep it straight to the point and simple. You said, man, I just do action. I just action. That's all it was. I forgot the specific question the guy asked you. Something around like why you do what you do, or how you said I just action. Like I don't do too much talking. I don't do too much, I
be forgetting to post what day the cleanup is, what we doing. I forget to post the after pictures. Right. Like I'm just more focused on being there and doing it. I'm showing up early.
It's people responsible. I think it's people's responsibility to have platforms like this and have platforms that's bigger than mine to do that for you. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that's a pet peeve of mine. Like when I see persons like yourself and others who doing amazing work, but sometimes we don't have the time. Sometimes we don't have the resources, the capacity to do everything. You know what I'm saying? To be trying to post, also do the organized event, get the volunteers together. So news, big media, independent media, small media, podcasts, it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to, if you tapped into the community anyway, to find persons like Otis and others and highlight them and get them their flowers and use your audience to put them on too, so they can donate more. Right. Donate time, other resources, plug you in with other communities that may need the services and the energy that you give with the 200-man stand, and just you as a person, just to come to speak, and be relatable to people that's probably coming from similar backgrounds. Oh, yeah. And or those who might come from totally different, more privileged backgrounds, but need to still be doing the same thing in some type of other capacity. Yeah. And so, man, that's why this is important for me. I appreciate it. This is like, I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it, but this is really important for me, man, because I know, I understand.
And everybody has I gotta get this point out there too. Why you got me the platform?
Go ahead, get it out.
I don't expect everybody to do what everybody does. Get in Army does what they do. Right. The 200-man stands what they do. The youth centers, Recycle Reinvest do what they do. Right. Like some of our stuff is gonna overlap. Right. But a lot of our stuff is not gonna overlap. Right. I can't wait on nobody. Right. Like a lot of people wait on people or try to partner up with too many people to where they dream gets stagnant because you waiting on the buy-in for somebody else and all of that. Like, just get to working, bro. Right. Everything else go fall in place. Right. The people that's supposed to align with your journey go align with your journey. And everybody's mission not to pick up paper. Everybody's mission not to do resources. Your mission might be to provide the platform, to be the black media outlet. Right. So we can tell our stories so CNN and NBC and Fox don't skew our message. Right. So the newscast, I've had that before in the past. You know what? We have a resource festival, and we in there trying to talk about the resource we bring to the community, and they want to talk about registering us to vote. And I'm like, bro, we not, like, that's part of what we're doing, but I don't want the narrative to be we out here registering people to vote when we got so much other stuff we bringing to the table. Right. But they were trying to push a vote narrative, and I'm trying to push, we bringing financial literacy to people who need to be making more than minimum wage. They need more employment, like stuff like that. I'd rather that story be told that way. So I just told them, like, bro, if we're not gonna do it, I don't want to do the interview. Right. So it's been interviews I've turned down because the narrative, they want to want to spin ain't the narrative I want told.
Right.
So
Which
to be
is-
able to tell my story
Yeah.
with you is so
Right.
important.
Yeah, nah, and I'm all for like I ain't got no agenda. You
Yeah,
know,
I already know.
My agenda is to highlight people that's empowering the community. That's it.
And you've been doing it
And
too.
that's all. That's all I
You've been
want to do.
doing
And
it too,
however you
bro.
do that, I want.
At
I
a
want
high
people,
level, you've
right,
been doing it
I
too.
want people to be able to give it to them raw and real, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. I want to touch on something, man. You hit a little bit about partnering too many people sometimes, or waiting on other people. We talked a little bit about it before we started recording, but man, how do you personally balance that, like staying out of like that, like politics of like it's politics in community, like doing for community, it's politics in that,
yeah.
and keeping your integrity, remaining Otis always. Talk about some of those challenges and how do you.
It's not really a challenge for me, bro, because I'm me, and
Right.
everybody, my personality is I gotta look at the camera when I say this. My personality is a certain way, and you gonna know who I am before you even deal with me.
Right.
When you see me out or move around in my conversation, the interviews I do. So if I'm not for you, I'm probably not for you. You probably know I'm not for you.
Right.
So a lot of stuff missed me because I wanted to miss me.
Right.
My dad had said that alone. I learned that from my dad. He said, "Be yourself, grow, but be yourself. Don't be stuck in bullshit ways, but grow while being
Right.
yourself." But if being myself turns somebody off from working with me, believing in me, I didn't want them anyway.
Right.
So I don't even have to like I just do what we do, bro. Like I
Right.
don't. The only like I ask for some assistance because we supposed to aid and assist our people, but
Right.
I don't wait on it.
Right.
If I need you to help me provide this and you don't want to do it, there's somebody else that does it. And
Right.
if not, I'm going to just learn how to do it and probably do
Right.
it. Or I won't have that service at this particular event
Right.
until I figure out how to tackle that need.
Right.
So
And that's
I'm
that's
me, man, and I
that's
just
a
love
learning
being-
lesson,
yeah,
though,
it
during the
is.
journey.
It
Because
is.
I've in my younger days, not like I'm that old, but after my younger days, because I was naive to like, man, this other black man specifically, oh man, he's here and I'm coming up and we meeting, so he want to support me, he want to help me out. Come on, Christoph, bring out the pizza. we gotta always pause with a pizza. Yeah, you can set it anyway. Yeah. You know, we got a whole trailer reel of you just bringing out pizza.
Great. That's what
We need to do that.
Yeah, hey, put it down. Put it down.
I don't think I signed that release. This is-
yeah.
All right. Let's do this. All right, grab those napkins. I'll put some there for you.
Boom, boom. I appreciate you.
Yep.
That smells, I'm talking about delicious.
Ah man, get your
The other man,
Vince?
Vince.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Vince.
All right, that's yours. It's a little hot. Be careful.
Thank you.
Got this.
I got that. Appreciate it as
Refill some
always.
water. Yep.
I got to taste this.
Oh yeah, go ahead. First bites, man. First bites.
My
This
first
is your
time.
first time eating Geno's
Mhm.
too? Oh yeah. You got the deep, man. I'm on this strict diet, man. And so I can't even really murk this like I would. So I gotta just take a little bite and leave it at that, and then give it to Joshua.
Now, this thing here good, boy.
Oh no!
They got them one.
I don't know if you eating pepperoni meat and stuff like that, but like get a slice of this too if you want.
I'm
some.
pescatarian, so
Okay.
so that was my
I figured like I figured
they had some
by
salmon or some shrimp or something. I probably would have got a little shrimp piece or something, but yeah, I ain't tripping. It's good though.
No, I'm glad they had something. I hope it's cooked well done for you. And
It
everything.
is. This thing ain't perfect. We still recording?
Yeah. We still recording, but
Okay.
we good.
Nah, that's cool. I just wanted to say something like back to the point of the collaboration.
Thank you.
My energy, like I had to learn how to collaborate. So my
Okay.
energy, I didn't never get. You know, some people be burnt because they start off collaborating, then they get oh man, these people ain't worth a quarter, so I'm gonna do it myself. Like I always was a do it myself type of guy. Then I had to learn how to have that collaborative spirit. So I don't get disappointed when people don't collaborate or their mission don't align with mine, or like I'm just so used to doing it.
And you, man, from my experience, and that's why I'm gonna do it myself. And I had to get out of that because I realized I can't do everything. You can't. You can only be a lone wolf for so long, for so many particular projects. Because what I realized, which made me be a lone wolf, is like because being naive and being young, thinking like, oh man, somebody's gonna help me, support me, and being naive and not knowing they got way more other shit on their plate than just to worry about Jerome.
Right.
And trying to get what I'm going all the time.
Right.
And what ended up happening is a learning experience. I end up not doing something, not taking action because I'm waiting on somebody. And I said I'll never do that again. And that was like I was growing up into like this, like it was learning lessons that I had to learn. And I said I'll never do that again. Yep. And then from that point on, like I still move that way now. But I reach out, like you said, reach out to specific people or for specific things. Like, hey, I'm trying to get this because you know what I'm saying. Are you available? If not, like, can you recommend me to somebody and keep it moving? But like that's what got me in that attitude. Like just again taking the elevator, taking the stairs, excuse me. And knowing like, man, you can't wait on nobody because you be waiting forever. And then I'm gonna take it personal. And I'm gonna wanna escalate the situation because I'm gonna feel some type of way. And it ain't even nothing personal. It's just business, and it's just how it goes sometimes. And so I had to learn and change my mindset because you be ready to smash on somebody. You know what I'm saying? ASAP, on site. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no holding back. Especially, you know what I'm saying, in my younger days, it's like, nah, I feel something about you said you was gonna do something, like I expect you to do it. But like I don't hold everybody to that same caliber standard anymore. Even myself, like if I say I'm gonna do something and can't do it, I'm gonna make sure I say, hey, look, I said I can do it. I'm gonna at least let you know. Give you a heads up, and then find an alternative if possible, just offer GP because that's just a common courtesy and disrespectful thing to do. Right. And I want to piggyback it off of the question I have for you. Okay. Is that that balance in remaining Otis and not even it being a challenge for you. Have there been times where you like, man, they playing with me, like, and you had to remain disciplined? And I asked that because I asked that. Let me preface it a little bit. I asked that because as black men specifically, we already easily can be turned up. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel we're properly taught a lot of times how to navigate these spaces because we taught like this is how you get something done. If somebody don't do it, this is how you retaliate. Yeah. And that don't work. You know what I'm saying? Outside of certain, like in majority of the world, that's just not how it go. There's gangsters, but that pen is some other gangster tactics that are being used, or street tactics that are being used in professional ways. Yeah. And so I know as individuals that's watching this that maybe haven't learned that or don't understand that, and I think you'll be a great person to maybe highlight, teach, educate on how you was able to grow into the person you are now from that aspect on navigating these spaces, navigating away from the politics and remaining who you are and not having to smash on somebody because you figured it out mentally.
I'm finna tell you, man, it came with the knowledge of self. The more I learned out who I was and what I was here for, what my people been through, and that I am modern day royalty, that I always gotta be that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't let nobody pull you out of character. So I've been pulled out of character, but it's rarely from people. It's more so like entity, like the media, like the news. It takes a lot for a black man or a black woman to pull me out of character. They get 1 million passes in my book. Okay. Even if they don't, like you said, how we met. Like, I'm going to speak. Like, even though you got the sour face young brother and I open the door for you, I'm going to open the door for you still. Right. For the young sister, I open the door for you. You don't say thank you. Like, I'm still going to open it for the next sister. It's not going to turn me off because I'm me and I'm going to be how I want to be. Or I want somebody else to see me doing it so I can inspire them. Or I'm going to have my son or my son around and my wife around, and I need to be an example for them to know who they have and who she put her faith in, who my son look up to. Like, it's bigger than me in that moment feeling how I feel.
Right.
Like it's always a bigger purpose. So getting out of character ain't gonna do nothing but hurt the cause.
Right.
Sometimes you have to, but it has to be a certain level. You have to do it a certain way.
Right.
So I might fix you and get you straight.
Right.
But without turning up.
Right.
I'm
So
just
you
gonna
know not to
move
play with
around
me.
you too,
Yeah.
because
Now
you know
can-
most
yeah.
people know, like in the community, like I don't have to deal with it. I've
Right.
been
Me
fortunate,
neither.
not
Right,
because I'm
yeah.
some tough guy, or
Right,
because I'm
right.
some boss, I'm rich, or
What we
something
talk,
like that.
we stay in our lane. We stay in our
My
lane.
energy is gonna deflect a whole lot of stuff, and my
Right.
energy is gonna attract a whole lot of stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
I notice who's not attracted to me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? In the city, who
Right.
does what they do. I notice who, when we invite, cause we put the word out there, we ask for collaboration, but I don't beg for it.
Right.
So we'll put everybody on notice. We know who shows up. We know
Right.
who, when we did the cleanup, we know Gideon's Army sent a representative to
Right.
participate, and they always been an ally to
Right.
anything we want to do, anything
Right.
we need a place to do. My son wanted to do a shoe drive last year. My
Right.
son and Hambino's son put a shoe drive together. 100% them. We partner
Right.
with the National Association of Black Physical Therapists. The president of the Nashville chapter is from Mississippi. She from Biloxi. Her hometown a few minutes from mine, but we went to Alcorn State and marched in the band together.
Right.
So that's my people. She moved to Nashville. Her and her husband are my people. He's in
Right.
education. So how do we want to? She had reached out to I want to collaborate.
Right.
She's been seeing me she knows me from 16
Right.
years old to 36 to 39.
Mm-hmm.
My energy is like we got the same energy.
Right,
When
right.
she's back in Nashville. She want to get active.
Right.
She reached out to me.
Right.
I used that alley-oop to give my son the platform for what he wanted to do.
Right.
For Hambino's son for what they wanted to do and what they wanted to achieve to build future leaders. So what's for me gonna be for me. Like people say that, like when it comes to success and business, but I'm more so use that when it comes to the community. Like
Right.
what's for me and the people that's supposed to help me along my journey, they're gonna find a way to help me. The people that I'm supposed to help, I'm gonna find a way to help them.
Right.
I don't overthink it because if I'm doing my job, I don't feel like I have to fix every problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That burden's not on me.
Right,
Because I know
yeah.
I do what I'm supposed to do.
And the right people that need to notice will notice.
Will notice.
And will see it. And that's
We'll notice, yeah.
and you gotta have that mindset and just have that belief and know. What's going on, everybody? This is your host and creator of Deep Dish Conversations, Jerome Moore, and I know you're enjoying this episode that you're watching currently. Make sure you hit that notification button and hit subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing episodes. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all love and support, and continue watching the episode. I'll holler. I got I guess more of a challenging approach right now for you.
Okay.
I know you got the fourth word, entertainment,
Yep.
in the music.
Oh yeah.
How let's talk about rap music specifically today
Okay.
and the effects that it have on black men in the
Okay.
black community.
Okay. Now
How-
you talking my language. Now
Yeah. So we know, you know what I'm saying? We all like, look, Boosie, Webb, they're my favorite artists of all time.
Me too.
Of
Boosie-
all time.
Boosie
Been
my-
15,
yeah,
16, of
yeah.
all time. But you got the community part of it. What we do, who we are, what we try to advocate, and what we try to stand for as black men in our community. Don't really go hand in hand with today's hip hop music and what's being, played commercially, independently. So talk to me. How
Okay.
do you
ready
stay
for this.
balanced, and how do you feel about that, and how do you?
And I had this conversation with quite a few brothers. I'm glad you brought this up because I've had a conversation with quite a few brothers over the last about couple weeks. And I don't feel no kind of way, bro, because all the people we champion in their old age and their success were once Boosie,
Right.
Jay-Z. We love Jay-Z now.
I'm a Master P guy. I'm gonna say
So
this.
I'm gonna get to him too, though.
I'm gonna say this.
But we
I gotta
love-
say this for the.
Okay,
I
go
gotta
ahead.
say this for the record, because you know what I'm saying, we from the South.
Yeah, they're dirty.
If Master P was from New York,
Oh, he'd be the biggest thing ever.
ever, he
Bigger
had a
than
show on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, he'd be
What?
bigger than Jigga
And
and or Diddy.
and to me, in my eyes, he is bigger than Jay-Z.
Yeah, to me
because I
too.
think he had this. He from New. He had
He
the
from
star
New
with
Orleans,
us.
the murder
And
capital.
The murder cap, and how he did what he did independent.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody ever did that before.
We
And
looked
so-
up to them. My hometown, Mouse Point, is an hour and 15 minutes from New Orleans, Louisiana. So I idolized Master
And
P.
so I gotta
Silk,
give.
C Murder,
I gotta say,
Birdman, Baby, all those guys
I gotta
where we
say
grew
it for
up.
Master P specifically, and and that's what I'm saying. I was born in '90, and so they was a little like they was doing my time, but like I didn't hear everything they didn't
Yeah.
see everything in the same light as in real time because I was just too young. But I had older cousins.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I had an older brother. I had other people that put me on. Still teaches me today about the music that put me on if I can go back and study it. You know, because I study music. But I gotta say that about Master P and shout out because I know his son just
Herschel, yeah.
at Tennessee State playing for the basketball team. But I had to say that, and I want to say it on record just to let people know how I feel. And know, you know what I'm saying? New York got Jay-Z, cool.
I love him.
And yeah, but like gotta give Master P his flowers, and I think they need to put a lot more respect on his name. Not saying they don't, but they like he should be like it should be Master P then everybody else.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to mogul and business and music. You know what I'm saying? He had a show on Nickelodeon. I think like from the Calio project.
Yeah,
he had a show
Uncle
on,
P was
Uncle
one.
P.
I let my son watch Uncle P
He had
because
a
he got
show,
the positive
and he had his
message of a
son on
black
there.
man
On-
taking care of his family
on Nickelodeon.
without nothing
Look,
crazy going on.
On Nickelodeon.
On Nickelodeon, bro.
During that time when you didn't see no representation like that, like not with people. Nah. So, but I digress.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
No,
let's go
okay.
into it.
Because Master P is my other example. I've been using those two. I haven't had it really even go because people see my point when I get to those two.
Right.
But Jay-Z, people like Jay-Z now is 50 years old.
Right.
But he was 40 rapping about bricks and cocaine and we forget about the Jay-Z, the 950,000 before rap. Like, how do you think he got that from owning businesses?
Right.
He got that from polluting his community with drugs, but we don't allow growth. So we appraise these guys in their older years and their mature years. Master P.
Right.
Make them say, 99, kidnap
Ice Cream Man.
Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
All, like, we idolize P now, but P had a lot of backlash then with those lyrics. Jay-Z was allegedly stabbed a man in the club. Like,
Right.
a lot of these guys to grow. Like, we allowing Boosie now. Like, Boosie is a lot safer, he's a different guy than he was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He knows about real estate. He knows about real estate investing. He has his own businesses. You know what I mean? The people that around that guy that's making money.
Right.
See, we forget about how these guys empower their neighborhoods and how they grow. And we just want them to be a finished product at 25 years old.
Yeah, no.
We want to be a finished product at 18 years old. We want Lil Baby to be where he's going to be. Want him to be Jay-Z right now.
Right.
We want Lil Durk to be who he going to be right now. Like, right now. Let his story progress. So, I'm even saying that because even though the message might not resonate, it's a certain guy that's telling that story from I'm trying to make it seem cool, or I'm telling my reality.
Right.
So it's on the consumer to kind of dissect who's telling what story from what perspective are they telling it from. And protect my own son. Like, I don't let my son listen to certain things. Like, don't let him watch certain things.
Right. Okay. On the consumer part, though, at 15 and 16 years old, when I was listening to Boosie, I wasn't trying to decipher or I wasn't trying to read between them. Like, it was like, oh, okay, yeah. And when you live in that environment too, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, yeah, this is what it is.
But Boosie was 25 when you was 15.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Man, Boosie the same. Me, Boosie, and Lil Wayne the same age. We all born in '82. So I kind of grew up with these guys and their messages. And I was just saying, like, when Boosie dropped Youngest of the Camp in 2001, and he was 19, I was 19. I was 20. Oh my God. You see what I mean? So
and so I bring it up. You bring up a lot of valid points to which I agree with. You got a lot of time for growth. But the hip hop industry in general, though, you know what I'm saying, it's one thing when you have kids, young men that ain't grown and they just getting the bag. They might not even care about the community that way. They just trying to get the bag and they're gonna rap that out because they know it's gonna sell. But do we have some responsibility as a community to stop that, or to like say maybe we should be having a different message? Because it's one thing that if you have different messages, right? Because I think, you know what I'm saying, we had NWA, Public Enemy. I think hip hop has changed, you know, over the years, over generations, every 10, 20 years is different. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, I've heard like older heads, you know what I'm saying, my cousins and stuff, teaching like, man, it was one thing to, you know what I'm saying, to be the drug dealer. Well, it was like, hey, you have a community, we're gonna talk about like the life, the consequences, the rewards and the consequences, right? Then it went from, okay, the drug seller. Now it's like, I want to be the drug user, you know? So it's kind of different messaging. And for individuals like yourself and others that know, like, the greater picture, like, yeah, maybe hip hop, the influence on the kids maybe is not because they powerful. They powerful. It's not, it shouldn't, maybe is there an alternative motive from industry to keep promoting the killing of black men? Because if you talk about Jews, if you talk about the gay community,
Oh yeah, they gonna cancel you.
oh man, but we can talk about killing each other.
Yeah,
It
I
ain't
can say
nobody,
nigga all day,
right,
but soon as I say a slur, a gay slur, or
Right.
or a slur about some other people, they might, they
yeah.
definitely-
So what is your thoughts on that as far as the agenda being pushed, and why is that being heavily promoted, and should we keep supporting? And I like, and again, I love, I tell you, Boosie one of my favorite rappers, but just at this moment, thinking of the greater good for probably what's best for the community, and maybe would need to be pushed and using platforms for better reasons than promoting the violence of another
Okay.
black man or black community.
I think, see, me being a little bit, knowledgeable about the industry and about society in general, I think we would be doing a disservice to the young brothers to put all the focus on them to change their music instead of changing the infrastructure or the hierarchy of music. Like, we have to put our own executives in place. We got to start making sure Master P, at his growth, at his age, is signing the right artists. We got to make sure that Jay's, like these guys, we got to champion the guys that get it and understand these platforms. And we got to promote the music we like.
Right.
So if it's an artist I don't like, I'm probably not gonna share his stuff on Instagram. Or I think his message is detrimental. Like, as much as I love Lil Boosie and stuff like that, I don't share everything. I love Lil Boosie.
Right. Yeah. We right there.
I don't
We
share
right there.
everything he does to every social media post.
Right.
Because I don't want that to taint or contaminate what my message is. So
Right.
I listen to him in my privacy on my own home.
Right.
It's a big institutional problem.
Yeah.
It's the industry problem. These guys are using it as a job. Do I want these boys to sell dope, or I want these boys to rap about selling dope?
Right.
I'd much rather these boys become millionaires by rapping about selling dope
Right.
than selling dope. If they can get their mom out the hood or
Right.
take care of their cousins, pay for their little cousin private school, we got to put that.
But
same
are they through their lyrics, are they building up their replacements? Or because I think
they
are they glorifying it? Because I was listening to ESTG on the way here. He's out of Kentucky. He was one of my favorite new artists.
Yeah, me too.
And when you like, I might need to go get a brick of fentanyl.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way it make it sound. And I'm 31 and knowing like, that ain't for me.
Right.
But for somebody who's 14, 15, like, oh, this is how I can look like that and do that. Even though they doing it for getting paid to do it and talk about it. Like, that 14, 15-year-old is reading it a little different and not mature enough to decipher, like, okay, he might have lived this, but he might be going flying in another way. And if you have a father or a parent in general that can help you, decipher that, that's different. But many times, like, those individuals a lot don't have the parent presence. Even if they got parents, might not have the parent presence to help them, like, to keep a hand on the shoulder, like, look, that's some music. You don't need to be doing that. But like, this conversation.
I get it. But I'm always on the side of, let's create what we don't have.
Right.
So when I step into the community, I might step in there fresh.
Right.
I might look like one of these rappers.
Right.
But my message gonna be different.
Right.
So I can't tell ESTG to not make his money because
right.
Well, I might
Exactly.
tell the young cat, man, ESTG talking about this, but the guy who pays ESTG is your guy. He ain't sold a thing in 15 years.
Right.
He's been a record executive. He signed this artist, this artist, this artist, so I can give a perspective to the message.
Right.
You know what? He's rapping about this because it is cool. It is happening, but the person that has more money than him is not talking about that anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He might feature on his song, but he's promoting these artists. Or listen to Moneybagg Yo.
Right.
His catalog done grew since 2 years ago. He's rapping about different things. Check out Lil Baby instead.
Right.
Lil Baby SCG got multiple songs together. But if you listen to Lil Baby by itself, he got songs about a multitude of different subjects. So we're just exposing these guys to other guys. And we got to create leaders within their community so they don't have to glorify these people.
Right.
They can just use it as entertainment for music. So we can fill these voids by going to the community, setting up being the guys on the ground, being cool. Like, that's the fact I always tell people, bro, if you going into the community and you trying to be some suit and tie, like, bro, you gonna work against your purpose.
Right.
You gotta identify with the people you going in there with. So
Right.
I'm regular
Right.
degular when I go into the trenches, or I might put some jewelry, you know what I mean, do
Right.
something like that to
You gonna be
identify.
yourself.
I'm gonna be
You-
myself.
be
but
yourself.
It's about getting that message across.
Right,
Like when
right.
I'm in Mississippi, bro, I'm with the same people I grew up with.
Right.
Whatever's going on, it's going on. It's safe with
Right.
me. Like, I'm not. They know what I'm on, but if
Right.
I'm around you doing you,
Right.
you doing you, bro.
Right.
I'm not talking about nothing we got going on,
Right.
nothing you doing or nothing. I'm not judging you or anything, but I'm gonna pour into you what I do, so hopefully it'll change the outcome or
Right.
change the leader that you are, so people acknowledge you.
Right.
These guys in my community, I absolutely admire their leadership skills and how they
Right.
can bring people up. Busted, Pimp, Keem, Simmons, it's people from Moss Point, Mississippi, bro, that put people in buildings and have community functions,
Mm-hmm.
and they not focused around community engagement. They focus around just having a good time, being peaceful, bro. And they bring
Right.
people together that from all sides of town, all walks of life, different
Right.
gang sets, different neighborhoods,
Right.
and they come together and it's peace,
Right.
and it's no shootings, no violence. If you're not championing those people, so these people can have platforms in their own neighborhood, so they can be their own leaders and create the leaders within these
Come to
own
deep dish
communities.
conversations.
Like, that's what it's about. So I can champion against the music, against these artists specifically, or I can champion against the machine.
Right.
Or I can champion against these artists specifically, or I can help make somebody that reminds these people that others artists in their community that they're not doing that. Or
Right.
they're not championing that. Or they can give a certain perspective.
Come to deep dish. Come
Come
to
to
deep.
deep
Come to
dish.
deep dish conversations,
So
and I'm
it's
gonna
all-
champion you.
Yeah, it's all about creating our leaders too.
Right.
Like, so I'm always about creating our leaders. When J. Cole, 21 Savage music, chopper, 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 gunplay, blow your brains out. J. Cole, I like dude. Let me
Right.
get him on a lot.
Right.
Let me
The
get him on something else.
Whole different type of energy.
Then I listen to Pooh Shiesty. He kill, chopper, chopper, brr, big brr, every song. But then he got a song with 21 Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what 21 Savage did on his song? He kind of did what J. Cole did on his song.
Right.
He kind of led some leadership. He talked
Right.
about some real stuff, but he didn't glorify it. He gave
Right.
a perspective on it that was kind of gave you some game, gave you some
Right.
education. So
And I think long as it's a
guys
balance.
It got to be a balance. It got to be a balance.
As long as it's a balance.
It is a balance. And a lot of these guys, like, they might talk about this because it's selling, but they don't know the ramifications. So you got to educate the artist
Right.
too. Listen to Starlito, my
Right.
favorite. He probably my favorite all time, but seeing his music progress and change.
Lido, come on here,
that's
man.
my guy.
Like,
He gotta
Lido.
come. You got to get him.
Me and Lido work out the same gym too.
For real?
Yeah, so we come
Oh,
across
yeah,
each
he
other's
hard.
path.
We've
yeah.
actually done a few shows together. We've like, he's
Lido,
a-
come on here,
he
man.
a solid
we,
guy.
we need you on deep dish, Lido. Let's talk about it. Grind hard.
Grind hard. But listening to his story, his message mature over the years, and his social responsibility being taken through his music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The song Daddy Issues and stuff like that about being a father. You listen to that
Father,
last
yeah.
album, it's about 2 street reality songs on there. And he's not glorifying anything. He's just telling the perspective and the story. The rest of
Right.
that stuff has purpose and message.
Right.
Every song.
Oh yeah.
So cats like him that might have come from a certain environment, participating in certain things, to see him now making music, we just gotta let these cats grow, man.
Right.
They not being fostered in the communities and by big homies that care and leading them the right way. So hopefully these guys get a hold of people in the industry like the J. Cole's and the Kendrick Lamar's and
Right.
the Freddie Gibbs. There's certain
Right,
cats that have
yeah.
lessons in their music.
Jeezy, you hear his stuff.
all of that.
And no, it's crazy though. For me, it's kind of it's gonna be sad to say, but when rappers grow, a lot of times we don't like it as consumers
Yeah.
because like Jeezy dropped, I think, you know what I'm saying, and I'm speaking to myself too, and I'm hold myself accountable for this. A lot of me, maybe most of me, want that old Jeezy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want the grown up Jeezy. You know, that ain't the energy that don't make me feel the same way, right? Or even like if you listen to Meek Mill now, he got them Nelson Mandela Award, the first rapper to get one. His prison reform and all that. His music sound different, but people he get criticized for that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like I want the old Meek Mill talking. You know what I'm saying? He grown.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I hold myself accountable because I said it to myself. I had to pull myself back in. But like, dang, Hey, I wish I can get that old Boosie back. I wish I could get that old Webby. Where you at? You in the bubble all the time. Come out the bubble. But
I think that's more on the artist just knowing how to transcend their message, make their message transcend at the old age, not necessarily their actual message. Because this cat's like, you listen to that Deeply Rooted from Scarface, he was down there 50 when he put that out.
Right.
And I listen to it every day. I'm going to listen to that before I listen to the latest Jeezy.
Right.
And Scarface is 10 years, 7 to 10 years older than Jeezy.
Right.
But boy, his music is just sound, to me, it sound better than the last Jeezy album. You know what I'm saying? Not knocking Jeezy. Jeezy's one of my all-time favorites, but...
Yeah. But I think too is maturity on the individual too.
Is it forced maturity? Is it natural? Like when you listen to when T.I. first started to change his music, like it was like but then he still live. You know what I mean? He found a way to still be cool with the music. You know what I mean? It didn't always translate, but he still knew how to hit you with one or two of them. J. Cole does a good job. His music was always the same. Though.
Yeah.
But a lot of these cats like Boosie, I just think they trying to. They music changed because not necessarily because they message changed. They just got to figure out the recipe.
Jay-Z did it seamlessly.
He seen Kanye.
Kanye did
his music seamlessly. Like
it's just like
they mature. Like, their music
and
mature.
I wouldn't even
still sound good.
I'm just biased to the South. I'm gonna just keep it all the way
too.
100. And so I wasn't really the biggest Jay-Z fan. Like growing up, like anything like that. Or Nas. Nas was like kind of boring to me. But I mess with Nas music, like his new stuff. I can bump with that now. I think he got like Hit Boy too. Like he got better beats.
Right.
But his message, but his message is he always been on a conscious high level thinking for the community. And same thing with Jay-Z now. So it's like
Nas. I think Nas musically. He's the perfect example of social responsibility. Nas is my favorite example of social responsibility on a record. I got a playlist on my phone called Nas Features. Every feature he on, he teach you something.
Right.
I'm talking about all the Rick Ross features, all his Jay-Z, all his Jeezy features, like everything.
He dropping gems. He
gonna drop a gem, but it sounds so cool.
Right.
He figured out the mechanism even at an older age. I think Nas is better at older he is than he was younger.
I was saying the same thing, and I think too times too. It's just timing. Like sometimes like it just hit different at the right time, and I think it's good that he still got his abilities, and he didn't compromise who he was because. You know what I'm saying? What are you speaking then? He's speaking now, but it sound better for some reason. It sound better. And I think that's a credit to we waking up more too. Like in 20 years, this conversation might be different. It might be like now what we was hoping and wishing for or trying to promote more, it's here.
Right.
Every artist is on some Nas and empowering, and that's what the consumer wants.
Right.
Because the consumer know that does more for the youth, that does more for the community, it just does more for just having a more peaceful, healthier, society, world. Yeah.
And I think that's what Jay-Z and not like when I said Jay-Z didn't start doing what Nas was doing until he was damn near 40. Nas was doing it at 20.
Right.
Pac was doing it at 20.
Right.
But then we praised Jay-Z for doing, like he finally did it, but he was just like Jeezy his whole first half of his career. He was Jeezy, rapping about bricks, cocaine.
Right.
He ran it up, we threw the burrows, we doing it. Like he taught you grown man stuff.
So, right.
But he was still rapping about glorifying cocaine selling. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
We can't make it not what it was. We got the songs and the music to prove it.
Right.
But Nas had stayed the course the whole time. So it's a reason Jay-Z is bigger than Nas because he got that crowd first.
Right,
a lot of times, even I got to say it too, in Nashville culture, the people that have platforms alienate the streets, bro. And the streets are what push the culture.
Right.
It's people that grew from the streets, but it's hard to be like, bro, everybody conscious, everybody we putting on shows and everybody some lyricist.
Right.
But they talking about something Jay-Z talking about now, but who's the guy that you're going to take a chance on that was talking about what Jay-Z was talking about in 98?
Right.
He had the bricks.
Right.
And not just about his lyricism, his rap ability was always there, but his subject matter's changed.
Right.
So I challenge all the guys that have platforms in the city, that do shows, that have concerts, bro. If you're not looking out for the streets, you're not really doing anything. You're not fostering the next generation of leaders because the guys some of these guys that's out here can't go and touch anybody in the trenches. They can't walk through these projects. They can't affect nobody but kids that's already got parents at home that have a solid foundation.
Right.
You go change them and influence them, that's a positive thing, but we got to get cats that can move around these spaces to really impact our change.
Right, and if you, and my thing is, look, I know people who grew up in Dodge City. You know what I'm saying? I know people who grew up in Joe Johnson, J.C. Napier, UC. And I'm saying, I know these people. I didn't grow up in the bricks. That ain't that. But I know how to connect and tap into say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. How can I navigate in this space? Because I know that's what they need the most. And sometimes, especially when we talk about entities, when you talk about organizations and things like that, they don't have people at the tables that can do that. And sometimes they pride and ego a lot of times won't even allow them to want to reach out to an Otis or a Hambino or me or other people because I just don't know. Maybe they feel like they just don't want to do it. They feel they can navigate around it, but you really can't. If you really want to have true impact and build capacity with the community, you really can't. And that's why anybody, no matter your walk, no matter how you look, if you're doing something empowering for the community, you always welcome here. You always welcome here. Yeah. Always tapped in here. That's why you're gonna see judges, and you might see a previous convicted felon.
I'm a convicted felon.
So yeah. So
I'm
it's
a convicted felon.
And so we had Raheem Buford on here. Yeah. Murderers. Alleged. So like I want the people who's been the lowest of the low and build their way up to the highest of the high. I want people that's always been right there and but still using their privilege to better help the community.
Another perfect example is we love the Nipsey Hussle that bought the Marathon store. We love the Marathon continues Nipsey Hussle, but he slapped somebody at the BET Awards. He was a big he was a gangbanger. He was a Crip. He was active. Man. Like he got in the shootout, he used to fight. Like he had the squabble in his community. Right. So he wasn't removed from that at all. Right. He wasn't removed from that zero. He wasn't Jay-Z or Jeezy or T.I. or Boosie. Like he was in it in the mix. Right. And a lot of time we use those guys as examples because we looked at the finished product or the product post-mortem. Right. And be like, okay, we try to change what he really was. No, he was an entrepreneur and a gangbanger.
I'm saying you can be both. I'm saying you. I think.
And we don't. We
want to dismiss that.
We always dismiss that.
Right.
We always dismiss that, especially when we have some type of in the black community. Once we reach some type of social status, some type of educational status, some type of community status, we disregard that dynamic, not knowing that dynamic is really the dynamic we need for the change that we really want to see. Right. Nobody's gonna come from Wisteria Hills and go change Compton. Right. It's gonna be somebody from Compton to change Compton. It's gonna be Big U, who did what he did, the most prolific Crip that got the football programs, that had Nipsey teaching him how to do all this. Like, if you're not dealing with that segment, bro, I really don't even want to deal with you in the community anyway. That's pretty much how I am.
Hey, what do you got going on now? What's up next for Otis? I know you got a lot of things. You got the comedy series. You on the road. I know you got 200 Man Stand. Fourth Ward Entertainment.
Shout out Leo and CMR Carberell. They're my business partners for Ford Entertainment, man. We do a lot of dope stuff. We try to do entertainment differently. We try to offer stuff that everybody else ain't doing. We try to partner with people and do events that's not happening. We deal with venues that people off the beaten path. You know what I'm saying? Like we try to change our little flavor up. But yeah, we got a link event we call The Link. It's a networking social. We bring professionals of all walks of life and give them a safe space to entertain themselves. Like whether you want to do some business with somebody, it's going to be somebody that'll work. You need to know. Okay. Likes of yourself. Like it's certain people that I personally invite and try to curate the atmosphere. So when other people come, they comfortable. They're in a safe space for networkers, for leaders, community activists, whatever you are, politicians. Like we just try to do stuff different. We have our concert series. We do concerts between Mobile, Birmingham, Atlanta, Nashville, Memphis. We comedy shows in all those cities as well. Like we all over the place, bro. We just well-rounded guys who do well-rounded things, and we provide entertainment our way,
if somebody wants to get active, and that's one of my key words, like, because I just think that's a common theme with who you are, is
Yeah.
getting active. If somebody watching this wants to get active with you, or you know, want to get active and don't know how to get active, but feel like 200 man stand or just tapping in with you will help them do that, how do they get in touch with you?
Just DM me, man. At O_forward WARD_ENT on all platforms. Forward live, number 4 WARDLIVE live at gmail.com. Forward.live is the website. 200manstand.org is the website. You just go check us out, man. If you at wisecrackscomedy.com, you can check us out on all those platforms. All that is we all the same, bro. It's all the same.
Any last words of gems, wisdom, man, you want to part with, man, to all the listeners?
I do. Just do it. Like Nike, they got the best slogan in the world to me. Just do it, because if you waiting on the fanfare, if you waiting on 100 people to come show up, I use this as an example because I got to get somebody their flowers while I got your platform. The community cleanup in Moss Point, Mississippi. That's probably our strongest installment down there. We've been doing it down there for about 2 or 3 years, and we've had about 15 cleanups so far.
Wow.
And on the first one, it was just me and a couple of my friends that I grew up with, like my day ones.
Mm-hmm.
About 5 of us. We had no representation from any community leaders. We just had no community organizations, no politicians. Nobody showed up. It was just us taking the strategy from my partner Pimp, Skinny Pimp, and just doing what we do. What happened was, after being consistent, after our second one, we had an alderman, Chuck Redmond, came on board. Like, bro, I'm with you. We weren't even cleaning up in his district.
Right.
He came on board and started cleaning up with us. But being consistent, and I'm like, my hometown is 7 hours away from Nashville, so
Right.
I'm planning the cleanups when we're taking family trips. If it's too long, I'm making a special trip just to go down there and knock it out. Chuck hit me like, bro, you don't got to make that trip no more. We got the infrastructure down. I got it from here.
Wow.
So seeing Chuck do the work, like seeing he saw me doing the work, being passionate, being committed, going out my way to do it. He took the responsibility on from me to have to head it. So now he called me like, bro, just do the flyers. So I just sent him a flyer day before yesterday for a cleanup in Moss Point this weekend. I'm not going to attend. You know what I'm
You got
saying?
the infrastructure.
I got the infrastructure. 200 man stand and be the change. His slogan is his organization called Be the Change. And that's really what I do. Like what he does and what I suggest everybody to do.
Be the change.
Be the change, bro. It's not hard. Just do what you're supposed to do. Do what's on your spirit to do it, and just do it. Whether it's you, if you want to clean up one block and pick up this paper, whether you want to go take these 2 kids out of this situation and show them something, just do it. Like, you can spark change a million ways, but if you don't take the first step, you will never do it. You'll look up, it'll be a year later, 6 months later, 2 months later, 10 years later, and you'll be like, damn, I should have did this. I wish I could have did this, or I could have impacted this. Or we'll be talking about this rap conversation, talking about, man, the community needs this, and these rappers are doing this, but what have you done to counteract that?
Right.
What influence have you put into the community? What foundation have you laid or infrastructure for change? Like, so just be the change. Just do what you're supposed to do. Play your part.
Hey, we're gonna end it right there. Otis, man.
Yeah,
again,
I appreciate
fam.
you, bro.
Hey,
Thank you, man.
I know.
I love
Thank
the
you.
platform.
Nah, man.
Appreciate
Thank,
that.
nah,
It's
thank
humbling.
you. And I encourage anybody that's following me, any subscribers, do the same for Otis. Like right now, stop it. Do the same for Otis. It ain't too many like him, and more people like him should be highlighted. So if you do have a platform too, take an opportunity to highlight Otis, man. And I mean that. He very responsive, very easy to talk to, and he's available. He'll make himself available. So appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of Deep Dish Conversations. Check out the next episode and the next one and the next one. And again, go follow Otis on all his platforms. Tap in with them and support. You know. All right, man.
Yeah, it is, bro.
Hey,
thank you,
man. Thank you, dog.
Yes,
hey.
Till we meet again.
Till we meet again.
Yes,
it's gonna be sooner than later.
Sooner than later.
All right, that's a wrap.